Tony KATZ. Facebook, Tony KATZ Radio. Be sure to like the page. Subscribe to the podcast, TonyKATZ.com. That's TonyKATZ. I was talking about the story about the FBI, the story about Peter Strzok. This FBI agent who was having an affair with another FBI agent, and they were texting to each other anti-Trump and pro-Hillary messages. And I was having a conversation about how this is the same guy who revamped a commentary or a letter from then FBI Director James Comey, and in doing so, changed wording about Hillary Clinton from grossly negligent to extremely careless. And that wording change meant there would be no possible prosecution for the crimes that Hillary Clinton clearly committed. This guy was also in charge of overseeing the investigation, the interviews of Michael Flynn, the former national security advisor. How is this possible? What has happened? How are we supposed to take a look at this and have faith? We take a look at the Obama administration, how they acted in the last 3 months of that final term, and we don't say to ourselves, that's a scandal-free administration. We look at that and say, my goodness gracious. It's so clear that they went to a great lengths to unmask people, to get information, to gather information, to utilize it against President Trump. This is duplicitous. We go to the IRS and Lois Lerner and then Josh Koskinen trying to defend it all. How they use the IRS as a cudgel against conservative outfits, preventing their free speech. And we ask ourselves, what faith are we supposed to have? What faith are we supposed to have in our institutions? What faith are we supposed to have in government? I mean, this question is being asked quite a bit these days, and I think it's a good, worthwhile question. What faith are we supposed to have in Congress when we say, here, we're voting for you because you will repeal Obamacare? And then when John McCain has the moment, he gives the big thumbs down and says, no, I'm not voting for Obamacare. I'm not voting to repeal Obamacare. Forget you. How does one regain faith? We saw so much lying and so much duplicitousness in this 2016 election. People who gave up on the journalistic side, their integrity on every level because they hated Trump so much, or really what they did is that their ideology got ahead of their humanity, and Trump could have been anybody. Trump could have been a dill pickle, and they would have hated the dill pickle, right? This is who they are. So what does one do? How does one deal with this situation? How does one solve this problem? The answer is twofold, and it's not a fun two answers. It never is a fun two answers. Number one is you have to be paying attention. You can't look at stories based on your ideology. You have to look at stories based on whether or not the facts give you any reason to agree or disagree, believe or not believe. This is what you have to do. You can't say, oh, this source simply can't be trusted. You have to look at the author of that, and has that author provided worthwhile stories before? You have to hold politicians accountable. And when they don't live up to their standard, their name and the letter after their name is not enough. You have to vote them out. You have to be proactive in your own knowledge and then in your own decision making. In the end, the politicos and the people who they're the ones who are appointing all these perfunctories in all these places that are causing us so much issue, they're cogs. When a cog goes bad in a machine, you don't, throw away the machine. You just replace the cog. That's what you have to do with these people. Members of Congress, whether it be the House or the Senate, these people, you have to elect people who will make wholesale changes in the State Department and in other departments, and in justice and in our intelligence apparatchik. Amazing stat out where the level of donations to left-leaning causes from all of these departments averages over 92%. That's the way they think. That's the way they are. And when you have this groupthink, you don't get the best. You get the ideological. We have to be the ones who are vetting. We have to be the ones saying we don't agree. And then we have to vote proper. It is a long slog. It absolutely is, but it's the only one we've got. Now, there are some other things we need to do, like we need to be the ones running for office on all levels, local all the way up, and we need to be the ones who are getting back and controlling things like academia and other places. But it involves us doing the job and the hard work. There is no easy way out. There is no easy way out. There's no other way to regain faith in the institutions. The institutions that work, unless we demand it or we become it. These are our options. I say you start putting them into immediate practice. I'm Tony Katz.
When traffic's a bear.